Recently, I'm going through some sort of mental renovation. I had a lot on my mind these days, which is normal to self reflect, but also because I'm going through some pretty big life changes, which I will share with you in the upcoming weeks as they unfold. And it feels like my choices are conflicting with how I used to think. I'm pretty sure this is an indication of character development. It feels strange to not be able to recognize how I used to think, to see myself as someone foreign in such little time. It feels weird just to see myself in that light. So I wanted to know how much I've changed as a character in the past year. And just to get to know myself better in order to be in harmony with my own thoughts. I know it sounds odd wanting to understand myself when I am myself, but our minds works in wondrous ways that subtle changes can have a big impact on how we make life decisions. So I just wanted to make sure that I am on the same page as my current 2.0 self. To do so, today I will be taking the MBTI personality test. So the MBTI actually stands for the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. It is an introspective self-report questionnaire indicating differing psychological preferences on how people perceive the world and make decisions. Now, we are going to take this test together and just analyze how I perceive the world and make decisions. And I feel like this would be a great opportunity for you and I to bond virtually because you get to peek in my brain and see all the chaos sheltered inside. So, without further ado, question number 1. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. I used to. I used to enjoy big events. However, now as I'm getting older, I feel like if I'm at an event with a lot of people who I'm not very familiar with, it drains my energy. I love hanging out with my friends, but I don't have like a plethora of friends. It's just like a handful of close friends that I like to hang out with. So I would say, but then how do you define vibrant? Wait, but I think the key word in this question is with lots of people. And I would have to say, not strongly disagree, in the middle. Okay. You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas. I am a very concrete person. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't like plans that are not really at least 80% achievable. So I would say strongly disagree. I don't like to waste my time exploring. I wouldn't even allow myself to want to explore those ideas. Your travel plans are most likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. I would have to semi-agree on that. Okay, I'm just gonna say semi-agree. I think I've decided to rate my answers between slightly, semi, and strongly. The triple S. You often think about what you should have said in the conversation long after it has taken place. Not necessarily, unless if it's a very important conversation, but I'm the type of person that thinks a lot before I speak, so I would have to say I don't really think back on the conversations that I had an hour ago or like a month ago, a day ago, unless if it's something really bothering me. So I would have to say strongly disagree. If your friend is, wait, is it strongly disagree? Can I go back? Is it strongly disagree or semi-disagree? I would say semi-disagree. Sometimes I still think about the things I said. Anyways, moving on to the next question. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not trying to solve their problem. Yes. A big yes and a small no. I think my first instinct would be supporting them because sometimes in situations like that, they don't really want a solution more than they want warmth. They want someone that they could express their feelings first over someone who can solve their problems second. So I would say strongly agree. People can rarely upset you. Agree. I don't really get mad at people unless if they've done something really, really horrendous against me or the people I care. But I would say agree. I don't really feel upset by people easily. Agree. Moving on to next page. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going. No, not really. Sometimes I initiate conversation because no one else would. So I would say semi-agree. Nowadays, I feel that I'm becoming more distant. When I was younger, I was very extroverted and I would be the mood maker of the group. I remember I hated making others feel left out. So I would always carry on the role as like a class clown or something like that. Nowadays, I feel more distant to people, more so just minding my own business and not trying to initiate something that I can be responsible for, if that makes sense. I keep saying if that makes sense because I don't know if my logic is logical to others. But I would say for this question is semi-agree. If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. Agree. I have mentioned before that I was a overthinker. I like to think 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. And I think about stuff like this a lot. And I don't like to waste time in a sense because I feel very static if I am not doing something progressive towards whatever goal I have in the distant future. So I would actually strongly agree for this one. You rarely worry if you make a good impression on someone you met. I would say semi-agree. I don't really care. That's not the right word. I don't really stress about having a good impression or making a good impression on someone else because I try to stay true to myself. I just have one personality. It's not like I would treat someone else different because they're someone else. So I don't really worry about making a good impression on someone else because I am me almost all the time. So I would say semi-agree. But sometimes, depending on what and why I'm in those situations, I do kind of worry about how people perceive me because first impressions are hard to change. But I would say mostly those situations are usually going to be professional settings. So I don't stress about it, which is why I'll pick semi because I'm not 100% carefree. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. It would not be a challenge for me to spend the whole weekend by myself without feeling bored. Dude, we survived quarantine. What did you think I do all day? Well, I worked and other stuff, but I would never feel bored when I'm just by myself. I enjoy me time. I think it's very much needed. And there's a lot you can do just with yourself. So I would strongly disagree for this one. You are more of a detail-oriented than a big picture person. Yes, I very much agree. So I would strongly agree for this one. I am not really good at looking at the bigger picture. I am very focused on the distant future. So in the sense that if we're talking about 5 years from now, what do you envision yourself doing? I'm like, I can't think that far. I am focused on now, this year, next month, next week. What am I going to be doing? So I'm more of a detail-oriented person when it comes to most tasks than a big picture person. Okay, next. You are very affectionate with people you care about. Strongly agree. Strongly agree. Yes, once I open up to you, I'm very affectionate. Yes, I care about you a lot, and I'm gonna show it. You have a careful and methodical approach to life. Methodical approach? Methodical. Okay. No. I am very careful. To a degree, I do have a methodical approach. So I would say this is semi-agree for me. I have plans, but not detailed plans. I was trying to shop for, this is kind of off topic. I was trying to shop for the 2021 planner for next year. And when I was searching for those, I also saw in this Asian stationery store that they had 10-minute planner. I cannot do that. I can't commit to that degree. That is insane to me. So referring back to the last question, I do have a careful and methodical approach, but just not extreme, which is why it's a semi-agree for me. Next question. You are still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago. Well, it depends on what kind of mistake, but if we're talking about pre-med, yes, all the time, but I'm trying to break away from that mindset because it isn't really a mistake, or it shouldn't be a mistake, because at the end of the day, I still got my degree, I still learned about these things that I wouldn't have if I did not take this route. But somehow I'm still very, very bothered by it, and I still think about it a lot. It lives in my mind, rent-free. So for this one, I would have to say semi-agree. I am still bothered by the mistakes I made a long time ago. Not a whole lot, but not ready to let that baggage go yet. At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. Yeah, probably. I haven't been to a lot of parties because I don't like lousy environment. Unless if it's for a close friend gathering, then of course I'm gonna be where the action is. But at events like parties, I would not be near the, what is it called? What was that song by Shawn Mendes? Life of the Party? Yeah, that's not me. I would like to be away from all the attention and just doing my own thing. So I would say strongly agree. I would be found farther away from the action, but I will be closest to the table that they serve food and refreshments, because let's face it, that's where the real action is. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. No, I don't find it difficult. I think it's very understandable. I'm very empathetic towards others, so I would say strongly disagree. It's not difficult at all. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalog. Yes, I'm very, very indecisive. Strongly agree. You can stay calm under a lot of pressure. Semi-agree. I do become incredibly calm. My mind just goes blank when I'm in a stressful situation. But there is a breaking point and I can feel it. So I usually try to de-stress myself to avoid approaching that limit, but I can feel when I am about to break. But I have yet broke under pressure, so I think I'm doing a good job. So I would say semi-agree. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. Semi-agree. I don't really have problems or issues jumping into a conversation with strangers. It's the matter of wanting to or not. These days, I don't really want to get involved. I can. I have the ability to. Wait, what am I trying to say? When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. Not anymore. Nowadays, my dreams are very normal. It's more day-to-day scenarios that could possibly happen. However, when I was in high school, I think probably senior year or junior year, when I was volunteering at 2 different hospitals, in the morning I volunteer at the North Hospital, and then in the afternoon I volunteer at the main hospital. So it was a time where I was really physically drained. I would come home and pass out in the living room, and I had these bizarre dreams where I was trapped in an airport with my sister, and there was some sort of violent event going on, and we had to pretend that we were one of the victims. And it was bizarre. I also had another dream where our hospital was on fire and Spiderman showed up, but instead of shooting out webs, it was freaking pasta. I like how I remember those from years ago. And my most favorite bizarre dream is one where I woke up in the middle of nowhere, sand everywhere. It seems like I'm stuck in a desert. and every step I take, instead of leaving a footprint, you would see blood coming from the sand. And in the middle of the desert, there is a bed and a lamp. So I was walking towards the bed and I was trying to turn off the lamp. And as soon as I turned off, imagine your phone. Before dark mode was a thing, you had to do invert color on your phone to turn everything black. And that's what it looked like. I turned off the lamp and all the colors were inverted, and I could see spirits coming through from the ground. It was so weird. I thought my mind was brilliant to make something like this. So I remembered it. I think I probably wrote it down in some dream journal I no longer keep. But yeah, I used to have bizarre dreams when I was really tired. But now, no, I don't really have bizarre dreams. So I would say strongly disagree. In your opinion, is it sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life? I want to say strongly disagree. It just feels very wrong to me that I have to push someone else down in order for me to rise up. I believe there are other ways that I could do so. And if not, is that even something that's really necessary? Because it's not a seesaw, dude. You'll be fine. Just find another park. You'll get your own turn. You are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked. Not very true. I get distracted a lot. I always have new ideas that I want to try, so before completing the one that I was previously doing, I will get sidetracked and start pursuing something else. So I would say I semi-disagree. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge. Yes, I do that a lot. Only to a point. I still believe in myself, but I just need a period of time to reset my mind. So I would say semi-agree. When at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. I would say slightly agree, because in the past, I'd say 1 to 2 years ago, I would introduce myself to the people around me that I didn't know, just to start conversation and get to know people. But nowadays, as I mentioned earlier, I am distancing myself away from people. I wouldn't say I rarely try to introduce myself. I still do, but not as enthusiastically. Wait, but not, you understand. I didn't have the energy I had back then and really try. So I would say slightly agree. Okay, we're 40% done. You usually lose interest in the discussion when it gets philosophical. Very, very wrong. Nope. It's the exact opposite. If you want to bring philosophy into our conversation and levitate it to another level, heck yeah, I'm down. So I would say strongly disagree. I love to stimulate my mind. You would never let yourself cry in front of others. I don't like to, but sometimes I can't control myself that well, depending on what situation it is. So I would say semi-disagree. You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to more quiet and intimate ones. False, I am more drawn to the quiet and intimate ones. So I would say strongly disagree. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future. I do like that. So I want to say strongly agree. When it comes to making life-changing choices, okay, this one's close to home. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. It's a mix of both. I listen a little bit more to your heart, to my heart, rather than my head. So I would say slightly agree. I'm still very realistic, but my emotions, yeah. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience. No, I don't think that's true. I am not strongly against it. So I would say semi-disagree, because there's a possibility of me doing something like that. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. Not true. Forgiving is hard, but revenge is fruitless. But it's about letting go baggages that you don't need to carry anymore. And I feel like if you want to get revenge, you're gonna hold on to that baggage for a long time. So I would say strongly disagree. I don't like planning revenges. It sounds vengeful. You often make decisions on a whim. No. I like to have a plan. So disagree. Strongly disagree. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and satisfying than the time you spend with other people. Not true. I think that depends on who you decide to hang out with. But that's not true. Kinda not true. So semi-disagree. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or the message of a song or a movie. I would say more so for a movie rather than a song. I do like to interpret movies after I've seen them. And movies are a form of art, so I like to understand what the director or the scriptwriter is trying to tell us rather than just receiving the story up front. So I would say semi-agree. You always know exactly what you want. Semi-disagree. I don't always know what I want. Most of the time I don't know what I want, but I'm not entirely clueless. I kind of know what I might want. I just don't know what exactly I want. So semi-disagree. You really think back on the choices you make and wonder what you could have done differently. Strongly disagree. I always think about the choices I've made and wonder what I could have done differently, especially in regards to pre-med. Wait, but pre-med is only just one case though. I don't really think back on all the other things that I've made, so let's go ahead and bump this down to a semi-disagree. When in public place, you usually stick to quieter and less crowded areas. Strongly agree, strongly agree. You tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities. Strongly agree. Strongly agree. I'm a very realistic person. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Strongly disagree. I am very empathetic. When starting to work on a project, oh god, this brings back high school days. You prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible. You prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible. So like having a pre-planned plan? Yes. In that case, I'd say yes. Because it's good to have structures. Instead of just figuring out things as they go, it could go very disastrous when you're trying to do a group project. Wait, but this is not about group project. So maybe this is just me. I'd say slightly agree. If I'm on my own, sometimes I tend to freehand a lot of stuff and just wing it. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will be until they become disappointed in you. That sounds very sad. Luckily, I do not think like that. That sounds sad and stressful. Double S. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Slightly agree. I'm not that extroverted anymore, but I wouldn't have a problem starting a conversation. It's just the matter of fact of wanting to do that. You often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios. No, not really. Do I even have time to daydream? I don't think so. Strongly disagree. You look after yourself first, and others come in second. You look after yourself first, and others come in second. I would say that quarantine changed a lot of things because it was a time where I got to be with myself more and I start thinking about myself more. So I would say, as of now, I would kind of look after myself first and then consider other things. So slightly agree. Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at the Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment. Not entirely true, but also not entirely false. Currently, I'm doing like a part-time job and I was on the night crew. So my job would start at 11, but then I felt like I'm wasting my day because I come home at 6:30, I shower, I eat. There's not a lot of time left before I have to go back to bed again. So I decided to have workouts in the morning before I go to work at 11. So I had a plan. Say, for example, if I say I want to work out at 6, sometimes I work out at 7, sometimes I work out at 6, sometimes I work out at 8. So it doesn't exactly happen as I plan. I don't end up doing whatever I feel like because I still stick to my routine. So I would say slightly disagree. Your mood can change very quickly. Not necessarily, unless if you said something that ticked me off, it won't offset an immediate reaction. It would just slowly, gradually change my mood because I would start questioning what I've heard and then start thinking about it, over analyzing it, and then it would change my mood. So that doesn't happen very quickly. So I would say semi-disagree. Semi-disagree. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Disagree? Strongly disagree? It doesn't cross my mind that often. I don't question human existence, but these days I think about or try to salvage, like, what is the reason why I'm here? What can I bring to the table? That kind of thoughts, instead of just, why do human race exist? That's a little beyond me. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. Quite often, so I would say strongly agree. Next. Oh, we're about 80% done. You have got detailed education. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretching several years into the future. Strongly disagree. I am very lost, as you could probably tell by now. I am a loose cannon, and I'm still trying to explore my possibilities. But yeah, you really dwell on your regrets. I do. So I would say semi-disagree. You rarely dwell on your regrets? Well, I sometimes regret my regrets. Wait, my brain is a little bit twisted. So I'm not agreeing, so I'm disagreeing. Am I disagreeing wholeheartedly, or I'm just kind of disagreeing? I'm kind of disagreeing, so slightly disagree. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. Yes, that is very true. Slightly agree, because I'm thinking about the events that I've been to recently. Wait, what events have I been to recently? Or am I thinking about that last year? I think I'm thinking about last year. If it's a place that I decided to go, it would be more excitement rather than feeling drained. I would just feel very overstimulated most of the time. So I would say semi-agree. Not a whole lot, just a little. You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. Yes, semi-agree. I'm more agreeing than disagreeing, so semi-agreeing. You find it easy to empathize with a person who has gone through something you never have. Yes, I don't think it was ever hard for me to empathize with others. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous burst of energy rather than to organized and consistent effort. No, I think I can separate work and life pretty well. Life-wise, it's more of a spontaneous burst of energy, but work-wise is organized and consistent efforts for me. So strongly disagree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. No, not No. Strongly disagree. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. No, I would feel very tired, so strongly disagree. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancements could change everyday life. I don't think about it all the time, but sometimes when some new technology comes out, I think about how lazy we're getting because everything else around us is becoming more and more convenient. In a good way, I welcome it, but at the same time, I am worried about us becoming dumber in the future because it would require less effort to do something. So I don't frequently wonder about this kind of stuff, but sometimes. So I would semi-disagree. No, slightly disagree. No, semi-disagree. You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. Yes, I do think about that a lot. Strongly agree. You still honor the commitments you have made, even if you have a change of heart. Slightly agree. Just to a degree. You rarely feel insecure. False. I feel insecure all the time. So semi-disagree. Semi-disagree. Oh. I forgot to... Wait, hold on. I forgot to put in my gender. This will determine your avatar in the results screen. Oh, so I didn't really need to do that, but I'll just click female anyways. Wow, my personality type changed. This time it says that I'm a defender, the ISFJA. What is this? Mind. This trait determines how we interact with our environment. I am 28% extroverted and 72% introverted. So I have successfully converted myself from extroverted to being introverted. Energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy. And I am 28% intuitive and 72% observant. Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. I'm 10% thinking. Dang, that's so low. Is that even accurate? And I am 90% feelings. Second to last category is tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. I am 54. Yes, I am poor. But I am 54 judging and 46% prospecting. What is prospecting or prospecting? Prospecting. Ah. Wait, then what is judging? I mean, I know what judging is, but what is judging? Okay, I guess. That doesn't really... Oh well. Trust science. And the last category is identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decision. I am actually 61% assertive? I don't think so. But I guess I'm 39% turbulent. Okay, let's start reading. Yeah, roughly a year ago when I was taking this test for fun, I was a mediator, or specifically INFP turbulent. But as you can see, I am different now, which is not surprising. But I'm curious to see what am I again? Defender. What is that? Am I even in the same category? Introduction. Love only grows by sharing. You can only have more for yourself by giving it away to others. Okay. The defender personality type is quite unique, as many of their qualities defy the definition of their individual trait. Though sensitive, defenders have excellent analytical abilities. Though reserved, they have well-developed people skills and robust social relationship. Oh my god, this is kind of true. And though, okay, it's really true. And though they are generally a conservative type, true, Defenders are often receptive to change and new ideas. As with so many things, people with the defender personality type are more than the sum of their parts, and it is the way that they use these strengths that defines who they are. This feels very inspirational. Defenders are true altruists, meeting kindness with kindness in excess and engaging the work and people they believe in with enthusiasm and generosity. There is a hardly better type to make up in such a large proportion of the population, nearly 30%. Combining the best of tradition and the desire to do good. True. Defenders are found in lines of work with a sense of history behind them, such as medicine. Oh my God! Such as medicine, academics, and charitable social work. Charitable, oh my God. I don't like how accurate this is. Defender personalities, especially turbulent ones, are often meticulous to the point of perfectionism. That's not me. And though they procrastinate, that is me. They can always be relied on to get the job done on time. Defenders take their responsibilities personally, consistently, going above and beyond, doing everything they can to exceed expectations and delight others, at work and at home. But we must be seen to be believed. Wait, what does that mean? The challenge for defender is ensuring that what they do is noticed. They have a tendency to underplay their accomplishments. And while their kindness is often respected, more cynical and selfish people are likely to take advantage of defenders' dedication and humbleness by pushing work onto them and then taking the credit. Oh my God, can this be any more real? Because my mind is blown right now. How was I not a defender before? How was I was a mediator. Anyways, defenders need to know when to say no. Okay, listen, this website is coming at me and giving me advices that I've heard over and over again. I have a really hard time saying no to people, but I'm getting better. Since I don't want to end up becoming the person that I hate, I am learning to say no more. So defender needs to know when to say no and stand up for themselves if they are to maintain their confidence and enthusiasm. Okay. Advice noted. Thank you. 16 personalities. Naturally social, an odd quality for introverts, defenders utilize excellent memories, not to retain data and trivia, but to remember people. Oh my God. And details about their lives. Dude, this is the best thing that happened to me all week. It's just this test. When it comes to gift giving, defenders have no equal, using their imaginations and natural sensitivity to express their generosity in ways that touch the heart of their recipients. While this is certainly true of their coworkers, whom people with the defender personality type often consider their personal friends, oh my God, this is true. It is in family that their expressions of affection fully bloom. Is it though? Okay, but moving on. If I can protect you, I will. Defender personalities are a wonderful group, rarely sitting idle when a worthy cause remains unfinished. Defenders' ability to connect with others on an intimate level is unrivaled among introverts, and the joy they experience in using those connections to maintain a supportive, happy family is a gift for everyone involved. They may never be truly comfortable in the spotlight and may feel guilty taking due credit for team efforts. But if they can ensure that their efforts are recognized, defenders are likely to feel a level of satisfaction in what they do that many other personality types can only dream of. Okay. Oh, defenders you may know. Beyonce is a defender? Okay. Queen Elizabeth II. Vin Diesel? Oh, funny story. When I went to Hong Kong, which I mentioned in my previous podcast, places I've been to in the last decade, I saw a wax figure of Vin Diesel, or the person that plays Vin. Wait, is the actor's name Vin Diesel, or is the character in Fast and Furious name Vin Diesel? Anyways, I saw a wax figure, and I didn't really know his name, so I took a snap of my face and the wax figure, and I typed Van Diesel instead of Vin Diesel, and I sent it to my friend. And they were like, you mean Vin Diesel? I was like, oh. For the longest time, I thought it was Van Diesel. You know, Diesel, Van, Diesel, Van. Anyways, moving on to strengths and weaknesses. I can't wait to see my weaknesses. Defender's strength. Supportive. Defenders are universal helpers. Stop. Sharing their knowledge, experience, time, and energy with anyone who needs it. And all the more so with friends and family. People with this personality type strive for win-win situations. True. Choosing empathy over judgment whenever possible. At this point, it's just attacking me. Reliable and patient. Rather than offering sporadic, excited rushes that leaves things half-finished, defenders are meticulous and careful, taking a steady approach and bending with the needs of the situation just enough to accomplish their end goals. Defenders not only ensure that things are done to the highest standard, but often go well beyond what is required. Kinda. Imaginative and observant. Okay, this is true. Defenders are very imaginative and use this quality as an accessory to empathy. An accessory to empathy? Yeah. This sentence. Ooh. Observing others' emotion states and seeing things from their perspective. With their feet firmly planted on the ground, it's a very practical imagination, though they do find things quite fascinating and inspiring. With their feet firmly planted on the ground. Oh my God, this is just my Bible. Enthusiastic. When the goal is right, defender takes all the support, reliability, and imagination and apply it to something they believe will make a difference in people's life. Whether fighting poverty with a global initiative or simply making a customer's day. Oh my God. True. Dude, today was Halloween and I tried my absolute best to write on the cups, the lid of the cups. I'm currently doing part-time job at a coffee house. So I was trying to write on every single cup, Happy Halloween or Boo or things similar. And drawing, like, what did I draw today? I drew pumpkin, the jack-o'-lanterns. I drew what is the name of that skeleton person? It's like, this is Halloween, I don't know his name. I've never seen the full movie, but I drew that skeleton face on the lids. I also drew some spiders. I drew Frankenstein like twice, only because it was too complicated. And then we had a lot of people, so I gave up. And I also drew Dracula. So I was thinking by leaving something small like that, it would make someone else's day. But it took way too much effort, so. But it was fun, though. It was nice to see people's reaction. Back to what we were talking about. Loyal and hardworking. Given a little time, this enthusiasm grows into loyalty. Yes, I'm very loyal to my friends and my family. Defender personalities often form an emotional attachment to the ideas and organizations they've dedicated themselves to. Very true. Texas China care where you at. Anything short of meeting their obligations with good hard work fails their own expectations. Good practical skills. The best part is, defenders have the practical sense to actually do something with all this altruism. If mundane, routine tasks are what needed to be done, defenders can see the beauty and harmony that they create because they know that it helps them to care for their friends, family, and anyone else who needs it. Oh, moving on to the juicy part, defender weaknesses. Humble and shy. Wait, this sounds like a humble brag. The meek shall inherit the earth, but it is a long road if they receive no recognition at all. This is possibly defenders' biggest challenge, as they are so concerned with others' feeling that they refuse to make their thoughts known, or to take any duly earned credit for their contributions. Kinda? Defenders' standards for themselves are also so high that knowing they could have done something minor aspect of a task better, they often downplay their successes entirely. Kind of. Take things too personally. Defenders have trouble separating personal and impersonal situations. Okay, I don't have trouble with that. Any situations is still an interaction between two people after all, and any negativity from conflicts or criticism can carry over from their professional to their personal lives and back again. Repress their feelings. Huh? People with the defender personality types are private and very sensitive. Private, yes. Sensitive, kinda. Internalizing their feelings a great deal. Okay, kind of. Much in the way that defenders protect others' feelings, they must protect their own. And this lack of healthy emotional expression can lead to a lot of stress and frustration. That is so true. I am losing hair. Although that might be subjective, but I feel like I'm losing hair. And it stresses me out. And I can't not stress in order to help my hair grow back. So help me out here. Their strong senses of duty and perfectionism combine with this aversion to emotional conflict to create a situation where it's far too easy for defenders to overload themselves or to be overloaded by others as they struggle silently to meet everyone's expectations, especially their own. True. Reluctant to change. These challenges can be particularly hard to address since defender personalities value traditions and history highly in their decisions. A situation sometimes needs to reach a breaking point before defenders are persuaded by circumstance. Oh my god, this is true. Or the strong personality of a loved one to alter course. This is true. This is true. Too altruistic. This is all compounded and reinforced by defenders' otherwise wonderful quality of altruism. Being such a warm, good-natured people, defenders are willing to let things slide. True. To believe that things will get better soon. True. To not burden others by accepting their offers to help. True. While their trouble mount unassisted. True. Very true. All right, romantic relationships. When it comes to romantic relationships, defenders' kindness grows into a joy that is only found in taking care of their family and home. Wait, I read this earlier. And being there for emotional and practical support whenever it's needed. Home is where the heart is for people with the defender personality type. True. And in no other areas of their life do they strive with such dedication to create the harmony and beauty they wish to see in the world. That is true. The trouble is, these are the benefits of an established long-term relationship, and defenders' unbearable shyness means it can take a long time to reach this point. True, because in the beginning of my relationship, I was not as open as I am now. I'm just slowly cracking, little by little. Defenders are most attractive. Okay. Defenders are most attractive when they're simply being themselves in a comfortable environment such as work, where their natural flow shows this kindness and dedication. I guess because, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Relationships built on established familiarity are a warm prospect for defenders. They take dating seriously. Oh my god. Dude, this is me. And only enters into relationships that have a real chance of lasting a lifetime. I never thought of dating someone until I was in the relationship that I am in now. That should tell you how serious I am about relationships, because I can live without it because how picky I am. I just didn't really believe in romance and love because I was raised by a single parent, and my parents went through a divorce when I was really young. So my environment in my childhood was very different because of that. So I didn't really believe in love, didn't really think I needed love. So that is correct. I do take dating very seriously. And I would only enter into a relationship that have real chance of lasting a lifetime. Okay, 16 personalities. I know you're watching me like FBI agent. Defenders' shyness and sensitivity shield what they are beneath the surface. True. Incredibly strong feelings, while not always obvious to others, this river of emotion can't be taken lightly or for granted. True. Defender personality can value the idea of a committed romance almost as highly as some regarded religious belief. Dang. Hard as it may be, if either dating partner doubt their feelings, they must part ways before real emotion Whoa. Wait, what? If either dating partner doubts their feelings, they must part ways before real emotional damage is done. Huh? As their relationships do progress, defenders often continue to struggle with emotional expression, but they have the opportunity to let physical affection stand in for their loving words. True, people with this personality type take no greater joy than in pleasing others. Kinda true. Often even, whoa, can I even read this? Often even considering this as a personal duty. What? Can I read this? I mean, I can, but should I read this? Oh, okay. Let's do it. It's fine. While dutiful sex may sound especially attractive in those specific terms, intimacy is tremendously important to defenders, and they spare no effort. They spare no effort in this department. All right. Okay. Nor is the pleasure they take in enduring their partner's happiness limited to the bedroom. Wait, I thought we were done with that segment because we're in the new paragraph. Defenders spend an enormous amount of time and energy finding ways to keep their relationship satisfying for their partners. All they ask in return is commitment, love, and perhaps, most of all, appreciation. Oh, it's true. It's true. It could be very simple at the end. Like all the best families, we have our disagreements. This is about to get rough. However, not everyone is prepared to pay even that small price of the benefit of the defender's kindness. If their partners aren't willing or able to express this thanks, or worse, still are openly critical of their defender partners, they will find that, given time and pressure, all of those repressed emotions can burst forth in massive verbal attacks that all the future regrets in the world won't blunt. Thankfully, that is not me. Yet. Or anytime, hopefully anytime in the near future. These outbursts are something to watch out for, but the more pervasive issue in defenders' relationship is that it can be too easy for their altruism and kindness to be taken advantage of, maybe even without their partners realizing it, while leaving defenders' own needs and dreams unfulfilled. This is something that defenders, partners, and defender personalities themselves must look after if they want to sort of a long, fulfilling relationship they dream about. Expressing appreciation is often more than just the right words. It is reciprocation. If these couples can manage this balance of mutual appreciation and goal setting, they will come to find that the best defender qualities emerge later in the relationship as they work towards establishing families and homes together. Okay, alright, so I'm on the right track. While perfectly capable in the workplace and among friends, defenders' true passion lies in taking care of their families. From playing with their children to the mundane needs of the household, efforts defenders are only too happy to contribute. Defenders are trustworthy, loyal, loving, and faithful, and nothing brings them more joy than the commitment of an appreciative and thriving relationship. The best matches are those who share these sensibilities, namely those who share the observant S trait. Now I gotta ask my significant other to do this test just for fun. With one or two opposing traits to ensure that both partners have room to grow, develop, and help each other along till the end of their days. Oh, that's cute. Moving on to friendships. this is probably the longest podcast that I'll have. Given how generous defenders are with their warm praises and support, it's not surprising that others enjoy their company enough to call them friends. The challenge is to be considered a friend back. People with the defender personality types are shy and a little protective of themselves. Okay, I'm not that shy, but I am becoming shy. I'm becoming socially shy, if that's a word. But they also need to be able to connect on a deeper emotional level. True. It makes sense then that most of Defender's friends are made not by random encounters on a wild night out, but through comfortable and consistent contact, as in class or in the workplace where they have time to get to know each other little by little. A lot of what establishes and deepens Defender's friendship is the mutual support, advice, and reassurance that the friends give each other. Okay, true. Defenders need a lot of positive feedback, and admitting this need certainly shows vulnerability. But if that vulnerability is well handled, it creates the deep bond that Defender personalities look for. If badly handled or not reciprocated, it's hard to see the friendship surviving without quite a bit of an extra effort. Yet, as their friendship develops, Defenders' sense of loyalty may push them to lean ever more on themselves to meet their friends' needs, to the point of neglecting their home. Okay, that's a little bit extreme. Defenders show this in a few ways, from going clearly out of their ways to stick to even trivial commitments, true, to simply not wanting to disagree or say no in fear of causing turbulence, true. More cynical types would call this naive. Yeah, I've been called that before. I may even take advantages of Defenders' altruism, but these are hardly the type of people who could be called friends, and they have no business being discussed here. Oh, okay, that dry ice burn. To what greater inspiration and console can we turn? The real friends, those close inner circles, are the ones Defenders truly cherish for their quality of characters and quality of discussion. Yes, Defenders aren't particularly picky about what personality types they make friends with, true, at least not initially. But because they prefer it so strongly to avoid conflict and miscommunication, okay, I don't like miscommunication, so I try to avoid that, and also conflict as well. I don't like to deal with those. Most of their friends are likely to end up being fairly similar personalities, I guess. Next is parenthood, but I'm gonna skip that because that's not on my agenda for the time being. Let's go ahead and look at career path. In many ways, Defenders are the backbone of the modern workforce. Altruistic and well-rounded, no other personality type is so well-suited to be in service of others. Okay. It is no surprise that many Defenders are not just good at supporting their coworkers and customers in human resources and support positions. They genuinely enjoy it as it gives them the chance to calm frustrations, see things through to a practical solution, and to be thanked, appreciated at the close of each ordeal. Be humble and earnest. Defender are skilled at remembering things about others. Oh my god, this is so true. Which makes them not only valuable assistants, but well-liked colleagues. People with the Defender personality type can also be counted on to remember a holiday. To remember a birthday, a graduation, or simply a frequent customer's name. Yes, very true. And that they can make all the differences. Yes, it really does make a bigger difference than you would think. Add to these admirable qualities, Defenders' meticulousness, hard work, and dedication, and it's no surprise that their careers often progress smoothly, with few of the ups and downs that accompany more high-flying types. However, Defenders are unlikely to actively seek out management positions, true, and are still more unlikely to brag about their accomplishments. Defender personalities prefer to be awarded by seeing firsthand the positive impact of their efforts. Oh, dude. And will remain enthusiastic simply knowing that what they do is genuinely appreciated by the people they care for. Yes. This makes them natural counselors, technical support, and interior designers. Ooh, interior designers. Where they're able to help others one-on-one without having to worry about corporate politics. Whether they seek promotions or not, it happens often enough as defenders' ability to implement ideas and create order from chaos. Yes, my motto is bound to make an impression. Create order from chaos. I am the chaos. Respecting traditions and security, defenders have no problem with the idea of moving along in a structured hierarchy. And while they may not always seek out those management positions, they fill them well. Defenders are well tuned to others' emotions and have a strong sense of practicality, extending their own ability to get things done to their teams. Where defenders struggle is in generating new ideas and in grasping abstract concepts. True, I do have problems when I was in college to grasp abstract concepts when I was learning science. Feels like academic research, oh my god, feels like academic research and corporate strategy are too intangible and too impersonal to utilize defenders' strength. Similar challenges arise in more typical careers when changes are forced through by defenders' employers. Advance warning and the proper explanation can help to smooth shock, but if changes cut back on things like the quality of customer service, it can feel like a betrayal in the face of their loyalty and dedication. That's a little bit beyond me, but lastly, live pleasantly and do good. Strong, well-developed institutions alongside like-minded friends are attractive workplace for people with the defender personality type. And career as nurses, elementary school teacher, and social and religious worker are attractive options. Sometimes the desire to help others is enough in itself. It's not uncommon to find defenders volunteering helping the community at shelters, food banks, and their children's school. Defenders are warm, service-oriented people, and hardly anyone is more welcome in these and many other roles. Lastly, we have workplace habits. Whether subordinates, colleagues, or managers, defenders share the goal of putting good service and dedication above all else. Whether helping customers directly, helping coworkers get projects finished on time, or helping team keep organized and productive, people with the defender personality type can always be relied on for their kindness and ability to listen to others and to find ways to resolve them. Win-win situations are defenders' bread and butter. Yes, and I'm a hard monster. And no one takes quite the same pleasure in finding satisfying resolution to day-to-day challenges. As subordinates, defenders exemplify the strength of humble dedication, relied on and respected for their patience and commitment. Patience, yes. Commitment, yes. Defender personalities really only seek one reward for their work: the satisfaction of knowing that whoever they help feels heartfelt thanks. Yes. On the other hand, this humbleness can hold them back. Defenders are quite unwilling to advertise their achievements, often for fear of creating unnecessary friction, which makes it too easy for them to be overlooked when opportunities come along. Defenders are people of incredible loyalty, yes, often trying to follow favored managers to new positions and locations. Okay, that's not true. This contrasts with their usual feelings on change, which, if it compromises their principles, is met with stress and unhappiness. Though perfectly capable of accepting change, yes, defenders must feel that it is for the right reasons. If a policy change results in disappointed customers, defenders take it very personally. Oh, okay, honey. Defender colleagues. Among their colleagues, people with this personality type seek for a frictionless environment. Yes. A spirit of friends, helping friends to get the job done. Close-knit and supportive teams are what defenders enjoy the most. Yes, allowing them to express their altruistic spirit among people who relied on their dedication and warmth. Defenders are natural networkers, but they use this skill to keep things running smoothly, not as a tool for professional advancement. True. These qualities can be drawbacks, though. Okay. As defenders, aversion to conflict and desire to help can be abused by less scrupulous colleagues. Instead of only asking help when they need it, some may ask for help when they just don't feel like working hard, knowing that their defender colleagues have a hard time saying no. Has it happened in the past? Absolutely. The result is that defenders can become overburdened and stressed, and it takes a few good workplace friends to put pressure on the less savory characters in order to maintain balance. I think that was the end of it. The next page is called What's Next, but I don't think there's anything else other than... Few personality types are as practical and dedicated as defenders. Known for their reliability and altruism, defenders are good at creating and maintaining a secure and stable environment for themselves and their loved ones. Defenders' dedication is invaluable in many areas, including their own personal growth. Yet, defenders can be easily tripped up in areas where their kindness and practical approach are more of a liability than an asset. Whether it's finding or keeping a partner, learning to relax or improvise, reaching dazzling heights on the career ladder, or managing their workload, defenders need to put in a conscious effort to develop their weaker traits and additional skills. What you have read so far, what I have read so far, is just an introduction into the complex concept that is the defender personal type. You may have muttered to yourself, wow, this is so accurate, it's a little bit creepy. Yes, I have. Or, finally, someone understands me. You may have even asked, how do they know more about me than people I'm closest to? Well, this is not a trick. You felt understood because you were. We've studied how defenders think and what they need to reach their full potentials. And no, we did not spy on you. Many of the challenges you faced and will face in the future have been overcome by other defenders. You simply need to learn how they succeeded. But in order to do that, you need to have a plan, a personal roadmap. Wait, you're trying to sell me the premium profile. Hold on, I don't need that. I think our job is accomplished here. Do you have to pay for this though? I'm just curious. Oh, you do have to pay for that. Look at that. Premium profile, $29. $49 and $169 for what? Download profiles for all personality types and explore the interactive Defender Academy. Am I in Hogwarts? With extra tools and material for an entire year. Dude, I don't have time for that. That is way too much for me. As you can see, I am very much different than I was a year ago as a mediator. And I think that what I experienced within this year, or between the time that I've taken the test and now, heavily contributed to the results that I am now witnessing. I still can't believe I am a defender now. I remember last year, the mediator was green, and then defender is blue, so I've even changed a hue. But as you can tell by now, it has been a chaotic year for me, aside from everything that came along with COVID and how it impacted our communities and the lives around us. So it's understandable how I've changed in a short period of time. While a year is not a short period of time if you break it down into days, and even more if you want to go into minutes, but it goes by really fast and unnoticed. One journey around the sun later, we're still the same person, but also a little bit different on the inside. Sometimes on the outside too. I've been trying to work out, but the point is, thank you for sitting through this podcast while I analyze myself. I hope you get a chance to find out what your personalities are, scientifically speaking, and see the progress, or should I say character development, of how it started and how it's going at the moment. Thank you again for listening to the 8th episode of Lactose Intolerant, and I will see you next week with some exciting news about the life changes that I mentioned in the podcast.